ठीक है। One. Do while loop. Do while loop. It is used to execute the statements first. Then it will check the condition. Do while is also called as conditional based loop. Do while is also called as conditional based loop only. Until condition satisfy, statements will be executing. If a condition is false, then it will terminate the loop execution. All right. Next one. For loop is available. What is a for loop? For loop is also used to execute the statements multiple times, but for loop is called as range based loop. For loop is called as range based loop. Why for loop is called as range based loop? Based on the fixed range, fixed number of times the statements are going to execute. It is used to execute statements multiple times. For loop is called as range based loop. For initialization, then condition, then increment or decrement. So here first it will check the condition. If the condition satisfy, statement will execute. After that increment or decrement will happen. Right. We are able to print the numbers from 1 to 10 by using while loop, by using do while loop, by using for loop also. Next one, there is a concept called nested loops. There is a concept called nested loops. आपका जान ले लेगा. This concept आपका जान ले लेगा. So lot of pattern printing you need to practice based on nested for loops only. What is the nested for loop? Writing one loop inside another loop is called as nested loop. Loop के अंदर loop. So writing one loop inside another loop is called as nested looping. Right. So nested loop. Writing one loop inside another loop is called as nested loop. Is called as nested loop. For example, for I'm taking for integer I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5 and I plus plus. This is one loop. For loop. Integer I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5 and I plus plus. Now inside this loop I am writing one more loop. Integer j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 5 and j plus plus. How many loops are available? How many loops are available? 2 loops are available. One loop is available inside another loop. If one loop is available inside another loop, then that loop is called as nested loop. One loop inside another loop is called as a nested loop. Now, if you see this, one loop is called as outer loop, another loop is called as inner loop. One loop is called as outer loop, another loop is called as inner loop. The loop which is having I value, it is called as outer loop. The loop which is having j value is called as inner loop. Outer loop and inner loop. Now, if you take this loop, this loop is called as inner loop. This loop is called as inner loop and this loop is called as outer loop. Now, if outer loop is executed one time, inner loop will execute 5 times. Are you guys getting my point? If outer loop is executed one time, integer I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. First time we entered into loop. Integer j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 5, j plus. Are you guys able to understand? What is the concept of nested loop? Writing one loop inside another loop is called as nested loop. Now, as per above program, for every execution of outer loop, for every execution of outer loop, for every execution of outer loop, inner loop will for every execution of outer loop 5 times inner loop will execute. As per above program, for every execution of outer loop 5 times inner loop will execute. Now I will give one requirement. Can you write the program for that? Can you write the program for that? Okay. Write a Java program. Write a Java program to print below pattern. Write a Java program to print below pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops. Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops concept. Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops. Try this. Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops. Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops. Online people, are you writing that? Write a Java program to print below pattern using loops.